What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video. You read the title. You're probably wondering what exactly I am talking about. And I'll be happy to explain it to you in just 1 second. But before we get into all of that, you guys know the drill around here. Mott's applesauce, if you're ever hungry, thirsty, whatever it might be. Mott's applesauce will satisfy whatever satisfying you need. Satisfy the Caveman guarantee. I promise it will never fail you. I also want to give a quick shout out to Space Fish. He's one of the many supporters that I have here on the channel. On my last video, we were talking about this very topic in the comment section, and he said he'd be interested in watching a video about it, so here I am. So thank you to Space for inspiring this. As I'm sure you probably know, the Buffalo Bills have not been the most successful team in the red zone. It's been one of our biggest struggles and the reason why we've lost some games that we probably shouldn't have lost. Right now, the Buffalo Bills have a success rate in the red zone of roughly 61%, which truthfully isn't that bad. It's been getting a lot better over the last few games here, but this cheat code that the Bills have at their disposal, if they abuse it, I truthfully think we can get that red zone succession percentage up above 80% and maybe even higher. I'm going to make a very bold statement right now. I truthfully think that the Buffalo Bills have one of the most overpowered plays in their playbook in the entire NFL. Truthfully, I think it's like a Madden glitch play. If you haven't guessed it already, it's a quarterback sweep. This was a play that went 2 for 2 in the red zone against the Atlanta Falcons this past weekend when Josh Allen had 2 of his rushing touchdowns. It worked with absolute ease. These were probably 2 of the easiest touchdowns that Josh Allen has scored in his entire NFL career. I mean, look how easy this was.
Let's move on. On second down, Allen. Oh, he's going to walk in. Easy touchdown. And Josh Allen going to tuck it and run, and Allen into the end zone.
Sweep concept is pretty simple. Typically, the quarterback takes it out of shotgun. He runs parallel to the line of scrimmage for about a yard or so, and then he pushes it upfield with a convoy of blockers consisting of pulling linemen and wide receivers to block for him. And a guy like Josh Allen, who's this physical, strong, fast, I mean, it's just easy to gain yards with a play like this. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the resources to break this play down perfectly to tell you how many yards it gains on average, how many times we've ran it, etc., etc. I can't do that. But what I can do is break down the dominance that is Josh Allen as a ball carrier just to prove my point. My goal at the end of this breakdown is to prove to you how dominant this play could be for the Buffalo Bills offense, combining a great play concept like a quarterback sweep with a guy like Josh Allen who's physical, strong, and quick. It's just a perfect storm. So before we talk about the breakdown of the red zone, let's just talk about how dominant Josh has been on the ground in general. Josh Allen's rushing statistics on the ground go as follows: 6 touchdowns, 117 attempts for 700 yards on the dot. Do you know what that math rounds out to? If we were only including players that have over 100 rushing attempts this season, Josh Allen leads the entire NFL in yards per carry at 6 yards per carry. I mean, this guy can move the rock with his legs. I think we've all known that Josh Allen is pretty damn athletic, and I understand that 117 attempts isn't necessarily the biggest sample size, but I think anything over 100 is enough to prove that 6 yards per carry is no fluke. This dude is just a dominant runner. That being said, I think it's pretty safe to say that he's been our best running back this year. Obviously, he's been more than a quarterback, but he's also been a great running back. He's been our statistical best runner all damn season, and that's been the case for a couple of years now. Josh Allen only makes up a mere 27% of our rushing attempts, 34% of our rushing yards, and 32% of our rushing touchdowns. Just something light, just a little bit of a workload, you know? Anyways, I just wanted to emphasize how good Josh Allen was as a runner and how dominant he is before we got into the red zone, just to prove how confusing our red zone offense has been this year. Obviously, like I've mentioned earlier, and as we all know, the red zone has not been a very strong point for this team. We need to be putting 7 up on the board more than we have been, especially going into the playoffs. If we're leaving with field goals on these drives more often than not, it's not going to end well for us. This season, the Buffalo Bills have ran 209 plays inside the 20-yard line, 115 of which were passes and 94 of which were rushes. On those 209 red zone plays, we have gained a total of 710 total yards, 387 of which came through the air and 323 of which came on the ground. For being a team like we are that's, more so pass heavy, that split isn't too surprising, even if it is inside the red zone. So being more pass heavy to run run heavy, it's not really too shocking. But here's the kicker, and this is exactly why I think that needs to change. Josh Allen is responsible for 28 out of 94 rushing attempts that we've had in the red zone this season. Devin Singletary with 32, and Zach Moss somehow with 25. And as you'd expect, like I mentioned, if Josh Allen's leading the NFL in yards per carry outside of the red zone, you definitely imagine he's leading our backfield in the red zone in yards per carry. He averages 4.5 yards per carry inside the red zone while having just about the same amount of carries as the rest of our backfield. That's pretty nuts. That begs one of many other questions that I have. Why isn't Josh Allen getting the ball more than the other two in the red zone? It just makes sense, especially Zach Moss. And just to make things even worse, Josh Allen's measly 28 rushing attempts inside of the red zone are only responsible for 13% of all red zone plays that we've ran this year. That is just pure irresponsibility. I mean, I don't even know what else to call that. I'm not done. Remember those 115 pass attempts that the Buffalo Bills have had in the red zone this year? Out of those 115 pass attempts in the red zone, Josh Allen has a 53% completion percentage, and he only averages 3.4 yards per pass attempt in the red zone. Allen averages nearly an entire yard more on the ground than he does through the air. He averages 4.5 yards on the ground inside the 20-yard line. Yet, for some reason, his rush attempts only make up 13% of all of our red zone plays. And considering the fact that we're a little bit more pass-heavy than run-heavy inside the 20, Brian Daboll is telling all of us that we'd rather have a chance at Josh Allen having a coin flip of a completion at 53% just to average about 3.5 yards, where instead we could be implementing more run plays that could average 4.5. This is common sense. It's common sense. I'm not sitting here saying we need to run the ball with Josh Allen each and every play inside the red zone. Obviously, I'm not saying that. But there needs to be more of a balance. I've seen time and time again of just continuous passing inside the red zone and it not working. And then suddenly we run the ball and it's like, oh my God, we score. Balance needs to be consistent. There needs to be more Josh Allen runs inside the red zone. And that sweep concept that I was talking about earlier is the perfect play call to implement it with. All right. We saw it in the Atlanta Falcons game. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, it was a work of art how easy it was. I mean, it is literally a guaranteed yard gainer. I'm going to make it even worse because I can and because why not? Let's talk about inside the 10-yard line where the ball should absolutely be ran. Inside the 10, the Buffalo Bills have ran a total of 100 plays on the dot. 51 pass, 49 run. Wow, how surprising. Still more pass heavy than run, even though it's pretty much 50-50. Anyways, out of those 100 plays, only 16% of them have been Josh Allen carries. Once again, that's pretty much a crime. This is the dirty area. This is the physical area. Inside the 10, this is where we need to be putting the ball inside of our most physical players' hands. And at this point in time, that is Josh Allen. Josh Allen's completion percentage of 49% and 2 yards per attempt inside the 10, it's just all the more reason why the ball needs to be ran. Look, I think I've pretty much hammered my point down as far as it's going to go. I'm not the best at these analytical, statistical breakdowns, but I think I've gotten my point across. Like I said, I'm not sitting here saying we need to run the ball with Josh Allen every single time we're inside the 20. No, I'm not saying that. My point is we need more balance. We have one of the best ball carriers in the entire league. And as I mentioned, taking that quarterback sweep concept that I think is awesome and almost foolproof, and combining it with a guy like Josh Allen, who's so physical, so strong, and so fast, it's nearly guaranteed to gain you yards. It's literally like that play in Madden that is complete cheese that nobody can stop. It's literally that, but in real life. We need to use it more, and in the Atlanta Falcons game, I'll say it again, it went 2 for 2, and there's no absolute coincidence for that. Hopefully, we'll start to see it more. I wanted to do this breakdown for you guys. Let me know what you thought down in the comment section below. This is going to be important going into the playoffs. We absolutely need to be putting 7 points up on the board if we want to be considered contenders. Leaving 3 points up there, it's not going to win you football games. Red zone percentage has been getting better as of late, but I think it could be one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL if we're just a little bit smarter with our play calling and our aggressiveness. We also have to stay aggressive, which McDermott has been doing as of late, so hats off to him. Anyway, those are all my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, as always, please like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I'd appreciate that. You want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there, I'd appreciate that as well. I also have a TikTok that you should check out down in the description, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.